Hello and congratulations on finishing week 1 of class. I just got through grading everybody's discussions, their responses, and then also your introductions. If you haven't already posted an introduction, please do that. There is not a due date, but I think it's really important that we continue to get to know each other and kind of share a little bit about yourself as we progress in this class. So if you haven't done that introduction, make sure you go in and do that. I have to say I am very, very impressed by the level of effort that people have put into their discussions thus far. Everyone has been so thoughtful in their discussions and have really been taking it to that next level and really applying it to their area of professional practice. You guys have been coming up with some really great research articles that pertain to the topics of the week. So I had a really, really good time reading that, and I also appreciate just kind of the level of discussion that's happening between the discussion groups. So great job on week 1. Sorry about the little quiz mishap. I know there were a couple questions where the answers were set to an incorrect answer, so I went ahead and let Dr. Webster know because she created the quiz and has editing rights, and she went in and fixed those two. So your guys' scores should be updated and correct, and that was just on the course overview quiz that had the two mistakes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this last week. I just wanted to point out a few topics as I was reading through discussions that kind of got brought up a lot. So the first one was it seemed like everyone was very interested in autobiographical memory, specifically the infantile amnesia. And it's actually really funny because when I think of this class, that is the one thing that I really, really remember learning and thinking, wow, that is so interesting how, our memory actually isn't that great. Our recall isn't that great from memories back when we were toddlers, and how a lot of times we think we have memories, but those are most likely memories we've constructed ourselves from pictures that, our parents might have shown us, or, conversations that we've had with family members. We kind of create those memories ourselves, and those aren't actually true memories. So I kind of had to smile when I was reading a lot of your discussions about that, because I too found that really interesting. Another kind of common topic that was brought up was working memory, and just kind of that importance of working memory and how it kind of plays a role in all other processing areas. So, for example, ADHD and attention, if you're having difficulty attending to something, you're also having difficulty, really retaining that information and being able to work on that working memory piece. It also plays a role in learning disabilities as well, just being able to hold a high amount of information into your immediate awareness and then being able to do something with it, within seconds. So working memory does really play a role in lots of other processing areas. In school psychologists, you'll start to really see that when you are doing cognitive assessments of students. Another topic that was brought up a lot was eyewitness memory. I think a lot of us are really into those true crime shows, because I saw that coming up a lot, and just how it applies to children and how children are just easily suggestible, and how oftentimes they'll change their recall when they think that they're doing what authority is telling them to do. And so to kind of, take what they say with a grain of salt. And so, that was something that got brought up a lot. And then kind of a final topic that was mentioned was traumatic memory, and how that sort of relates to PTSD, and how, we tend to have better recall when it's an event that we were put under extreme stress. And I think that's also really important if you're in the field of school psychology, because we do work with a lot of children who do have PTSD, and that really can impact them in the school setting. So kind of thinking how we can deal with that and what we should do in terms of interventions is important. So I hope you guys really enjoyed learning about memory. I think it's pretty applicable across all fields. So even if you're not a school psychologist, I think, it's something that, we all need and we all rely on in any field. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of that lesson. this upcoming week, this is one of my favorite topics. It's executive functioning. And so that is really our ability to process information utilizing that frontal lobe of our brain. It uses other areas of the brain, but it's mainly that frontal lobe. And it's really, your ability to plan, to get started on things, to be able to shift your attention from one thing to another. There's some working memory aspects of executive functioning. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy learning about this. So you're going to learn to identify various aspects of executive functioning and then also their relation to behavior. So I just kind of listed some of those. You're going to learn to distinguish measurements of executive functioning and then also make connections to a measure of a construct. You're also going to learn to identify developmental changes in executive functioning, so how that changes across development. You're going to learn to differentiate developmental trajectories for impairments in executive functioning. So what do those impairments mean for development? And then also evaluate and analyze current research in executive functioning. So remember that you do have a discussion post due Thursday by midnight. And then you also have your response due Saturday by midnight. And then you will have a quiz on this week's lesson due Sunday by midnight. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the course. Please reach out to me with any questions that you have. And I am looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about executive functioning. So have a wonderful week.